I think I'm going to go ahead and open the council meeting for tonight. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley.
Present.
Mike Bright is absent and has resigned. Grant Fuller.
Present.
Joe Palmer.
Present.
Megan Sheets. Clarence Worthen.
Present.
Eric Woods.
Present.
Okay, we have the minutes from the September 11th, 2023 regular meeting.
Move to accept the minutes. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Grant Fuller.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
This,
Public comment sheet.
okay, so tonight we have one person signed up on the public comments. David Riggs. Yeah. You want to come up here to the podium? Thank you.
I'm here to speak out against, you all did away with the Historical Society in Frankfurt. I think that's a very bad idea. I don't know how many of you were raised here. I was not. But the historical societies in the small towns are what keeps their charm. And I'm sure it has something to do with what's being built over on the corner of Main and Washington. If it doesn't, that's the optics. That's what the public sees. You're all trying to do this hush hush, and we see it afterwards after things are done. But that's what it looks like. And what's next? Tearing this building down, building you a new palace? I don't know. Nobody knows. And the Historical Society, every small town you go to has a different flavor. Lafayette, Lebanon, wherever. The downtown, back when the cities were established, were the hub. And that is what built the cities, is the downtown. And the Historical Society is a big part of keeping the charm of the small town. That's all.
Mr. Riggs,
Yes.
did you have the opportunity to, I know you weren't here for the meetings, did you have the opportunity to view the meetings on YouTube?
No.
Where it was all discussed and where the mayor gave rationale, as did the council, for the decision that was made?
No.
Okay. A lot of the questions that you bring up were debunked at that time, and also the rationale for why that was made, with the promise to put together a study group to see how we go from here. But one piece that I definitely want to make sure that you are aware of as it stands this evening is your reference to the county annex on the corner has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's county property. It was never brought up in any discussion, and that project had been before the Historic Preservation Society or Committee prior to all the design elements, and it is moving forward with their approval. The city is not part of that building. So I encourage you to go back in the archives and watch those meetings and become aware of all the vast discussion that came up with that.
You see me all over town. I talk to a lot of people. So I hear a lot of stories from a lot of different viewpoints.
Yeah. You're always welcome to call and get the factual information from the mayor's office.
And I don't pass rumors along unless I know for a fact they're true. If they're not, I will tell somebody that's wrong. I have no problem calling somebody a liar to their face, telling them they're wrong.
Well, I wouldn't say
Right.
liar, they might be mistaken, but yeah, do some research, and I think you'll find it different than what you are perceiving.
Yeah, as a son of a history teacher, I understand the importance of history.
Yes, this actually is a Historic Preservation Commission that we repealed that ordinance. Our standards are still in place for the downtown, the South District, and also the Christian Ridge Historic District. The only thing that has changed now is it goes back to like it was before, where it is going to be handled through our Building Services Department. As Megan said, the annex for the county was already before the historic preservation. They were there 2 times, were not on the agenda. They were just there to bring drawings and renderings and to let us look at those. They actually had those plans already approved by the HPC, so that's already been taken care of. It's nothing to do with this HPC. But I would encourage you, the standards for the downtown, the South District, and Christian Ridge are on our website. So you can go there and you can see exactly what that entails. And we have taken down the HPC on what all it could do and couldn't do, but I have copies of that in my office, and you're more than welcome to stop by and get those and see. There were some discrepancies even between the ordinance that established the HPC and the historical standards. So I think once you would maybe get into that a little bit more, educate yourself on exactly the difference and why that was chosen to do that right now, that would give you a better understanding. Counselor Beardsley asked us to put together some sort of a task group or some sort of a committee, which I'm going to work with Alicia here soon, and we're going to put another group together with maybe not those same, the abilities that the HPC were given through that ordinance. So I think maybe just to read those and see exactly everything's still in place as far as our downtown, South District, and Christian Ridge standards. So I would encourage you to look at those. And then if you have any questions, feel more than free to come up and to talk to me about it. I'd love to talk to you about it.
And this is what I do when I hear rumors.
Yep.
I try to get it from the source.
Yep. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming here and asking us to do that. Those appointees were by the mayor, and then the mayor brings it before the council who is appointed for that HPC before they're ever put on there. But it was a committee that was given a lot of authority. I'm not sure everybody even understood what authority that they had given the HPC and if that's what we wanted to do, because that's why we have a building services department. That's what they're here for. They enforce other ordinances. They can enforce the standards as well.
I will add to that, David, that ever since the beginning of this ordinance and the Historical Preservation Committee, we had several times that they went by opinions and not by what was written, and that was part of the problem. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, is there any other public comments? Is that all we have? Okay, next on the agenda, ordinance number 23-12, and this is on second reading.
I'd like to move that we table ordinance number 23-12, given that we've got a study on parking being done and that it may come back contradictory to this. And instead of going back and forth in areas, I think it just would behoove us to wait until their report and then bring that back from the table. So I move we table it.
And did you all get the information from Kimberly that we received from Envoy?
Yes, I haven't had a chance to study it yet.
About the parking and the housing. So we're actually that far into it right now. We're talking to Envoy and trying to figure out the funding for it.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay.
And
Ordinance.
in the signs are already up. Maybe we need to remove those then. They've already put the 3-hour signs up. They are up, yeah. Yeah, so we need to remove those if we are
Okay.
not going forward with it.
Okay. Ordinance number 23-12 has been tabled for now. So Jason, I guess take the signs down. Thank you.
And I will reach out. I know that originated from the Board of Works. I will reach out to Greg Miller and share with him that's council's decision.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Question in reference to leaving it on the agenda do we leave it on there for every meeting, or do we wait till that study is done and we put it back on the agenda?
I'd rather it not appear until we get the report.
I'm just, we need to make that
Yeah.
decision, so.
Otherwise, I think we would just bring it back every time, so, yeah. So we can go ahead and remove that from the agenda.
Do we
for right-
need that as a motion, or
We need a
we need to vote on that?
To remove it from the agenda? I don't think so, since we tabled it. I think we can just do consensus. It sounds like everybody is in favor of that.
Okay.
Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance number 23-13, and this is second reading, and this is for the 2024 budget. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Or Carol, do you have anything for us on the budget?
I do not.
Move to pass on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, and I think they all need to sign that, don't they, before they leave tonight?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Just make sure you sign that. Okay, next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 23-14, and this is setting the salaries and hourly wages for the employees of the city of Frankfort. There's one thing that I would like to present to the council to see if it were possible, if you would allow this to be amended for the street department administrative assistant, if that could be set at $44,144. And I think, I checked with Alicia, and it is okay to go ahead and amend on this second reading, and so what would we do? Have to pass it first as amended, and then
Make
Or how
that, you make the motion to
amend
amend.
it, and then, okay,
Then you pass it
Okay.
on amended.
yes.
And I'll make the motion to amend it to read that, reflect that.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
I
No.
move we pass ordinance 23-14 as amended.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 23-14 passes on the second and final reading. Next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 23-15, and this is on second reading, and it's the ordinance setting the salaries and hourly wages for elected officials of the civil city of Frankfort, Indiana.
Make a motion, we pass 23-15 on second and final reading.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 23-15 passes on second and final reading. Next is ordinance 23-16, and this is on first reading, so
I move we read by title only.
Second.
roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Additional appropriation ordinance number 23-16.
Do we want to have discussion on this, or would you like to go ahead and make the motion and then have the discussion?
I think we need a motion. I'll move to pass on first reading.
Second.
Okay. And then do we want to have, you want to explain that for us, or?
I have given you a marked up copy of this additional appropriation ordinance to explain why these amounts are being asked by the police department. There's new hire clothing, a refund for a duplicate payment. This is the only way for those funds to be put back into the budget. overtime due to 2 large retirement payouts, fuel, and utilities, which includes both the new and the old police station.
Scott, did you have anything to say? Or?
Yeah, and I did receive, or we got your email, yeah.
I sent an email about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I can give a quick rundown. I mean, and it's not saying that we're going to use all this. We are already short, I believe, a new hire with our latest hire. And we have to hire 2 more. If we can't get them on by the end of the year, we'll send it back. But there's a potential that we can have these people hired in November and December, and we'll have to outfit them. And I also have 2 people who could retire next year. So we're trying to get these 2 new officers fitted, or we're going to be in the same boat next year. The 1104, as she said, was a credit check back from the car rental company for a narcotics unit, and their billing is pretty bad, and so we're constantly fighting with them to have the correct. So we really do need that back in the line. The overtime, $20,000 is, we are currently negative $12,000, so that will get us to 8. And then we have unspent funds in patrol officer positions that we'll transfer to.
I think that'll get you through the
Yeah,
end of the year.
it should be more than enough. We should be returning at the end of the year funds from that. The utilities are higher than expected. We didn't know exactly at the new building, so we have high utility bills there, and then we still are paying for the old building. We have it down to essentially a few security lights. The air's been off, the heat's not on, obviously. I was in there today, checked the building. It's good. It's actually pretty warm, and so we're going to be working on deciding how we keep it through the winter with the heat. The heat's pretty bad in there. It doesn't even heat the basement anyway, where all the water lines are. So we're debating whether just shutting the water off and keeping the boiler off, and then just use a furnace or 2 if we need to. What else do we have, Carol?
The fuel.
And then the fuel, obviously, will get us through November and December. That essentially is just asking for a part of the user fees back that the employees pay out of their paycheck with that $20,000. Any questions?
Thank you.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make the motion, we approve ordinance 23 dash, oh, you
We
did.
have a motion and a second.
Sorry,
Call question.
I fell asleep.
Call for a
No,
vote.
Yeah, ready for the vote.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Grant Fuller, Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Now I, yes.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 23-16 passes on first reading. Next meeting, we will have the public hearing.
Public hearing, yes.
And that we can still do that in November will work, right?
Yes, the state has changed the additional appropriation process, so you can go right up until December 31st.
Okay, good.
Because once a council has passed it, the state automatically approves it as soon as it's submitted, which is a different process than before.
They used to have us get that in earlier, I think, so. Okay, next on the agenda, resolution number 23-14, a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds.
Would you like me to
Yes,
speak
would
to
you
this?
Talk to us about that, please.
So again, with the cost of fuel this year, our budget was a little short again in the sanitation department. And we looked at, Jason and Christina, the mayor and I looked at this and determined that this amount should get us through the end of the year, as well as the $6,000 is for the purchase of 75 toters for people that get additional ones, and also to have some in stock for those kind of needs. Did I explain that to your satisfaction, Mr. Forsythe? Okay.
So we've had several people asking for this second toter, so we decided to go ahead and put the order in for some additional ones so that people.
And above and beyond that is obviously we got some new bills.
Yep.
Toters for those. We've had a few of those come in, Mayor, with the additional Southridge Phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, still have some houses that are going to be built, all built, I believe, or being built, but we just, extra ones we had about, I want to say, after we distributed everything to everyone in the beginning, those were gone, and then we just.
Have a motion?
Make a motion, we pass resolution 23-14.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Resolution number 23-14 passes. Next on the agenda is Resolution 23-15, and it's a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds.
I see Chief Stidham is here, but I'll briefly explain that we did have extra funds in the annexation land purchase, and anticipating some repairs on Engine 3, we thought this was a good place to move some of those funds.
That was actually in the budget because of the land that we were hoping to acquire, but now we've added that into the bought process. So that was extra funds, and Engine 3 has turned out to be more than what we had expected as far as repairs.
Move we approve resolution 23-15.
Second.
I heard Eric first. Okay.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Brant Fuller. Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, the 15, that was, are we missing one? Oh, it's the parks.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 23-16, a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds.
So a few months ago, we had a water and gas line repair at the park to the major barn out there, correct?
Right, we had a gas leak, and then when they went to fix the gas leak, they got into the water. So yeah, this one is to fix the,
So we had extra funds in the superintendent salary line that we can move into the repair line. There is a typo for the account number. It's listing the wrong account number. The correct number would be 1101-014-361.000, and that is park repairs for $13,000.
a motion? Or any questions?
Is that transfer 13, does that pay that repair in its entirety then?
Yes.
Yes.
For Patton.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Yes,
the
for
gas
Patton.
leak.
We've already taken care of the water line repair that was a couple of months ago.
I'll move we pass Resolution 2316.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Brant Fuller. Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, resolution number 23-16 passes. So I think we have all those taken care of. One thing that I just wanted to mention, and I aim to do that during the budget time, Greg and I met with Todd Jackson, and it looks like as you average out our workers' comp and our liability for 2024, it's going to be about an 8% increase. And when we figured that, we did it at a 5%. So if we run a little bit short next year, I want you to know why that might happen. The liability, he said with the new police station, the new aquatic center went up. And workers' comp it's doing really well, but the liability portion of it is what went up so much.
They thought liability went up for a new facility over our old facility?
Well, it's additional because we still have the old facility for the police station. So we're still insuring it. We're insuring the new police station and the new aquatic center. Now, when we do something with which I'd like to talk about that, with the old police station, then they'll take that off of there. Plus, just like he said, the cost of insurance is just rising anyway with the cost of materials and that type thing. And while we're talking about that, does anybody have any ideas, suggestions on the police department? Are you still?
I've had some discussions with an individual that might be interested in being involved in the project of in some different uses of it. I guess I would really like to have somebody go with me on a couple meetings with some people to gauge interest without saying too much publicly, because again, the individual involved probably doesn't want publicity about it at this point. But there's some ideas. The guiding motivation here is that we have an amazing building in the history of our town, talking about the beauty of our history of our town that we need to preserve, and it needs to be a part of the fabric of our downtown, and we don't want to just do something. And yeah, I do understand that it's costing budget, and that's going to be difficult for a short period of time, but I really don't want to look at the difficulty of the next year or two. I want to look at 40 years from now, what that can be for our community. And so, we need to pull a group together that can come up with the best use for it. And there are several ideas being poked around. So anyway.
So Alicia, I just want to clarify this. If it's a not-for-profit, we could just donate it to them. But if we put it up, what process do we have to follow?
So if it's a not-for-profit, we can donate it. If it is an adjacent landowner, there's a special process for that. If it is not an adjacent landowner, then we need to put it up for public bid.
What if the adjacent landowner is a not-for-profit?
Then we can donate it.
Yeah. One of the great advantages is if we can come up with a not-for-profit use for it, is that whoever receives it often can get matching donations for in-kind, and the fair market value of our donation to them could be used for some of the massive costs it's going to take to bring it around in that process. So again, all those kind of work together.
So whenever you would like to meet or have somebody
I'm
meet, if you
I'm
could.
leaving tomorrow, and I'll be back the 23rd for the rest through spring. So when I get back, I will pursue. I'll
Okay.
come talk to you, Judy, about some of the ideas and see who you think maybe I ought to try to bring with me.
Okay, perfect. Because I would like to
And
do something with the building.
you're probably one of them that I will want to come with me.
Okay. Okay, yes, because I'm anxious to,
Yeah.
have something happen with that. I don't want it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just sit there and deteriorate. and-
Absolutely. We don't want it to deteriorate, but we also don't want to lose the value of it
Right.
to our community.
Right,
Thank you.
I agree. Thank you. Okay, Alicia, do you want to do the?
Sure.
So under old business, I've asked Alicia to talk with us a little bit and make some decisions as far as the fire department, the new fire station that is going to be west of 450, and some of the information we've received in the last few days from Envoy or Reedy, just different ones, so.
Right. So, first of all, some of you know this, some of you may not know this, but the process for the fire station has been a build, operate, transfer, which is what we did before with the aquatic center and with the police department. It's a little bit different this time because last time you all were involved in the design of those buildings because we had set them out for bid. initially, and we had gotten design and that sort of thing. This process is a little bit different because we're starting from the very, very, very beginning. We don't have any design, we don't have any project, so that originates in the Board of Works. And so the Board of Works put out a request for proposals and qualifications for the build, operate, transfer, and I've got copies of that if any of you would be interested in it. That has the basic specifications of what we were looking at initially in the project. That has changed a little bit since the beginning for a couple of reasons, which I'll explain in a little bit. But that does have the basic information so that you can kind of see what was put out there. After that was put out, there were 3 companies that did provide a response to that request for proposals and qualifications. Committee was put together and evaluated those responses, and Envoy was selected as the company that we would use to move forward with that build, operate, transfer process. So at this point, what we're working on is getting a public-private agreement, which will come before you all for approval to move forward with this project. So all of that has kind of happened in the background up to now. Envoy has sent me a public-private agreement, which I am revising. Once I have gotten that finished, I will pass that along to all of you so you can review it before the next meeting. I should have that done relatively soon, but there is another element to it that could make it change. In that, there is a meeting with, I believe, the Finance Committee and Reedy to establish what we can actually afford as far as the bonding and everything goes. So that meeting is happening in October, at the end of October. And that PPA, the public-private agreement, may change based on that meeting. But right now, what we're hoping to do is about a $9.5 million fire station project. If there are funds remaining from the actual construction of the new station, then we would hope to do a renovation to the headquarters so that we could put in facilities so that if we ever hire any females, we don't have shared bathrooms and living space and that sort of thing. And so that renovation and the new specs for the new station are all in that request for proposals, in case you want to see that. Originally, we were going to have a fire truck be part of that process. The fire truck is not going to be part of the build, operate, transfer, but it was in the original RFPQ. So you will see that it is an $11 million project in this document, but it will really end up being more like a $9.5 million project. And then also we will need to purchase a fire truck for that station. Because we're not doing that in the build, operate, transfer, there are several different ways that we can go about purchasing a fire truck. One of those ways is through Republic First National and doing a lease to own process, which I believe we've done before. So I do have some numbers for that. That I think I have in my bag, but Mayor has it. There we go. So the fire truck is a $1.7 million purchase and so they provided an option where we could do a 10-year lease to own with 8 payments and a 5.59% APR, and then 2 interest-only payments. And those interest-only payments would be the 2 payments until the fire truck is actually built, because it's a 3-year to 4-year lead time on that. Or we could do a 15-year with 2 interest-only payments, and it would be 13 payments for a 5.55% APR. And the total amount of those payments would be for the 10-year, $269,378.73. I'm dyslexic today, mixing my numbers up. So $269,378.73 for 10 years, or 13 payments of $187,060.83. So that's one option. Reedy also provided for other options that we could use, including bond anticipation notes, loaning from the bond bank, and those sorts of things. I am not the expert on that, so I'm not going to speak about the benefits and the pros and cons. I think it would be best for Gary Smith to do that, but that's something that we can consider as well. So there are different options, but I just wanted to bring this up so you guys were all aware that this is going to be coming before the council, most likely at the next meeting, and I will send you that PPA as soon as I've got that.
Yeah, I want to see what Gary says, but if we do it through bonding, I think there's a different bonding costs and everything that are going to add to it. And if we can handle the 10 years, doing it 15 years at a lower payment just means we pay a lot more interest.
Sure.
And more than anything, we need to get going so we can get it ordered because it's
Right.
not going to be delivered for
Matt
some
told
time.
us we're at what, almost 4 years now? 36?
That was in August.
We need to get Gary on that and get this approved and get it ordered so they can start that process because we can't
need
make
to get
them,
this information.
we can't make them wait.
Okay, I can email it to him.
Would you? Thank you.
Yep. So I am available for any questions. If you have any questions,
Those are the things that you
these are the
prepared.
RFPQs.
Does anybody want the RFPQ?
No? Okay, well, I killed a tree. Thank you, Clarence.
Take one.
Alrighty, there you go. Alrighty.
Do you need one?
No, I have it at home, but now I have.
Want one too?
Yeah. that's
Yeah, I've
supposed to
already
be-
printed them, so.
Okay. I need one.
You want one? So that, like I said, that has changed a little bit, but it gets you kind of the idea and the scope of what we're looking at.
Anybody have any questions or anything they would like to bring up? Hopefully, we can get the PPA here in November. That's kind of the plan. Once we meet with Reedy on the 25th of October, I would hope pretty soon after that, we can get with Republic and go ahead and get that ordered. And they have different ways of doing that. Since there is a delay, am I correct on that?
Yeah. So what Republic sent me was assuming that we want to go ahead and pay and set it up so that we can pay it all when we order it through Republic. So that would be we pay up front and then we get the loan and the loan starts and then we make those interest only payments until we receive the actual truck. You can also do it another way where instead of ordering the truck and getting the loan simultaneously, you can order the truck and then get pre-approved for the loan. And then once you're closer to when the truck is going to be here, you can then apply for the loan and get the financing at that time. There are benefits and downsides to both methods. If the interest rates skyrocket up, then we're stuck with higher interest rates. On the flip side, if they go down, then it could be more advantageous. But then we wouldn't make any payments until we actually receive the truck.
Well, let's
We
get
did it
the
that way.
analysis and have that at our next meeting so we can make a decision and get it ordered.
Are you going to be in on that meeting on the
I will be
25th?
here. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah, the 25th, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the bot process, what we're looking at is the actual building and then also the land, and we do not know what the land acquisition is going to be at this point. So they've kind of got that at, what is it, 500
They've
to
got
a
it between
million?
$500,000 to $1 million is what they've kind of projected for land costs. So if it's less than that, then we would have more money that we could potentially use for the renovations. At this point, where we landed most recently was that we were going to go ahead with the PPA, if you all decide to move forward, we would go ahead with the design for the new station and we would just take a pause on the renovations, not get that designed yet to see how much money we're going to be able to work with and decide at that time if we want to move forward with that. So that's where we're at right now with that.
Because that's costly, and we just figured not to
if
go
we
ahead
don't-
and do that.
We don't have it.
Yeah, so, and that's also soft cost in that amount that we're saying for what we're looking at right now. But we'll know more after the 25th. I told him I wanted him to come here with different amounts, different terms, and that type thing, so we should know more then. Okay, anybody have any other questions on that? Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, the bot process anticipated one truck, which is what we absolutely must have for the new station. But Matt has indicated that we would need 2 additional trucks in the near future. I can't really speak to what they're for, but he can explain that. But there are 2 other trucks that we would be needing relatively soon. And so that's something that we would need to also think about financing as well.
So engine 3 has been gone a while, hasn't it? I don't remember how long ago this all started, but
So just to kind of explain quickly on what's going on, engine 3 was 2005. Engine 3 and our engine 4 is a 2005 engine. The expectancy of those lives of those trucks are anywhere from 12 to 15 years. So currently, our engine that we have now has been in the shop for 3 months. I just spoke to them again today and has even told today they still cannot find the part that they're looking for to fix the truck. So in the last 20 days, they've been looking for these parts. They've been dealing with International, which now owns Detroit Engines, which is what the engine is. So there's a lot of little things that goes on there, but what I want to make sure that the city knew is that engine 3 is going to have to be replaced eventually. Now, that's 2 years out. That's a 2-year process to order one. From the minute we order it, it's 2 years before delivery of that truck. Now, that truck right now is considerably a lot less than the ladder truck. I mean, you're looking at around $750,000, $800,000 for that vehicle. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knew before the November meeting that there is this option of at least getting the second or getting another engine. Now, the other engine that we had talked about amongst everybody is that the second engine, if we was to purchase that, would be to replace engine 1. And this is no more than just planning for the future. This isn't I'm not telling you that engine 1 has to be replaced right now. I'm just saying this is for preparation for the future of having a heavy rescue. Instead of the city going back 2 years from now, 3 years from now and saying, hey, we're going to order a heavy rescue because now we're out towards 65 and we're covering more of these larger accidents. Now we have the capability of utilizing a vehicle we already currently own, turning it into a heavy rescue, and then also having an engine to replace the one at headquarters. So that's where we're at, but the majority of what I'm asking for sure is the ladder truck, which is a 3-year time period now to fill the new station, and a new engine to replace engine 3 that we are currently having problems with now. And I mean, if we don't get it replaced now, we may be in a really big bind because we may not have a truck to replace it with. So I'm just kind of bringing those to everybody's attention and to the forefront so that way you're not overly shocked if something comes back and engine 3 can't be repaired at all, then we'll have to find a new path to go down. And obviously, as I said, we're 2 years out just for an engine to get that.
3D, you might let them know that's the Quint, the 1.7, and that we are looking at the other. We just don't have a figure on it yet.
Would you all like me to ask Republic for information on a second truck at this point, or do you want to kick that down the road a little bit and just focus on the Quint at this time?
I think we have to be equally exuberant for engine 3. So I would like to see us move forward with pricing. That's just me, but
What was your quote on that, or approximate? Was that? Yes.
I believe the engine, the last quote that I received from them, this was the July timeframe, so the price was a lot lower.
Right.
We were looking at about $750,000. However, waiting after July 31st, going into August 1st, there's the new EPA guidelines that is going to be these trucks not being built for 2 to 3 years. They're telling me that this additional cost could be
Okay.
close to, I'm going to say, 750.
So if I ask for 800,000 just to kind of get us an idea, that would probably be sufficient.
There's
Okay.
other vendors that, as we move forward and we get an idea that this is the direction we want to go, there's other vendors we can look at as well. Pretty wide right now. I've talked to 3 other vendors.
Alrighty. Does anyone else have any questions about that process?
Anything else that you need? Thank you.
Longer we wait, more it's gonna cost.
I know.
Alicia, lots of
Yeah,
great information.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, Next, under new business, we have a utility service board appointment for the council appointment.
Mayor, I move to reappoint Rick Gunyon as our council representative on the utility board.
I will second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Brant Fuller,
Nay.
Joe Palmer,
Nay.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Nay.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Alicia, what do we do?
So generally in these situations, the mayor would break a tie. However, since this is a council appointment, it doesn't seem like that would be the best interest to do that, because then it would effectively be a mayoral appointment. So what I would recommend is that we table this for now, and I will look into what we should do in this situation. Unless, Mayor, you want to break the tie, but
Will we have a replacement for Mike Bright by next meeting? When's the
Possibly.
caucus?
Could possibly.
The
ca-
caucus is in 2 to 3 weeks, so we
Yeah.
should be.
Have they set the date for
They
it?
have, I don't know the date, though.
I know when I caucused in, there was a vote that needed to happen. They almost ran me in to swear in so I could vote. So if, as long as the caucus happens before the next meeting, then we can have a vote with 7 people. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
So it
that's
should
well-
be
that's
before
well,
next
well
meeting?
before the next meeting, yeah. So we can just bring it up again at the next meeting.
So is there a motion we table it until next meeting?
I don't know that this is actually a resolution or anything. It's
So we'll
just,
just
yeah,
leave it? Okay.
just leave it,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
As a tie vote. And wait and bring it up at the next meeting. Okay, Jason is going to talk to us about Mash Road Phase 3. And Kimberly, Jason, and myself have been working with Larry Lawler and with Gleason Vandenbrink on this project. So Jason, if you want to talk to him about that.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor said, Kimberly and I and Mayor have worked pretty hard here the last 3 weeks. As you can recall, back last year about this same time, we put in a grant to the Indiana Department of Transportation for Phase 3 of Mash Road. It's from Haven Avenue to Kelly Road. Just some things that came up in the last, we did not receive that grant, as most of you are aware, which is why we're going back after it again now. That is an 80-20 match grant, 80% from the state of Indiana and the federal government, and 20% from the city of Frankfort. One of the things that was brought up in our discussion about one of the reasons maybe we didn't get the grant was the bridge at Man's Ditch. Some other things were some questions about the new subdivision at Meadowbrook coming in. Some of those things we just didn't have a lot of time to discuss. I think we put together a pretty good grant the last time. I think we had a hell of an interview that went really well. But like I said, we didn't get the answers that we were hoping to get. But so we wanted to make sure that we pulled the county in to talk to them a lot more. Dan Sheets was a supporter of the build last year, but we just didn't get time to talk to the commissioners and the council about it. I have reached out to Don Stock, and I had spoke this morning about the new subdivision. I've also reached out to VS Engineering, Clem Coons, who's the design in Phase 2 of Meadowbrook, to get some information. Don provided me some information today, and Clem's secretary actually sent me some more information that I've already forwarded to Larry Lawler with Fleece and Vanderbrink, is who we're working with now with Phase 3. But what we discussed with the county about was the bridge. Does it need to be repaired? Can we put in a new bridge? Bert Weaver and Rick Campbell were not nice enough to sit down with us last Thursday, Mayor? Last Thursday. We talked about various things, and according to Rick, that bridge still has about 18 years of life remaining in it. And I can see from the county standpoint that they don't want to put a brand-new bridge in if there's still 18 years of life. I can understand that completely. So what we talked about was a pedestrian bridge at that location to kind of make things a little bit easier for people. It'll still be ADA accessible, and we'll be able to cross that creek and use that multi-purpose path and things like that with a pedestrian bridge, which we thought was a good idea. So we are working, we've asked Alicia to work with the county attorney, Tom Little, and on an interlocal agreement in regards to pedestrian bridge. So we're excited about that opportunity, and we're excited about moving forward. But I wanted to go over some things with you, as I said, without getting into detail on cost and things like that. But the total cost that we're thinking it might be is about $6.7 million, with the city being required to pay the 1.3 of that 6.7 million. I believe it went up a little bit, obviously probably because of the pedestrian bridge that we've looked at. But I think it's definitely a unique thing. It's something that the city doesn't have. But that's including engineering, and that's including right-of-way, utilities, that's everything. And this is a project that would probably be completed 2026, 2027. But obviously work to be done, as it has been with Washington Avenue and the other two phases of Mash Road. Right-of-way acquisition will start at an early time. Utilities, there's several poles that will have to be relocated down there on Mash Road in that third phase. What we were here tonight, but I wanted to explain everything, kind of the background of what we did last year and what we've done this year to try to put ourselves in a better position to acquire that $6 million. We've reached out and tried to take NDOT's comments to heart and try to move forward with that and passing that along to Fleece and Vanderbrink. We are, myself and Kimberly and the mayor are still reaching out to people for letters of support. And to make a long story short, that's why I'm here tonight.
Do you have that from Larry, the newest one that
I
tells
have, and I was gonna-
how much from each year?
Yeah, I don't think I have the one from, well, wait a minute, Mayor. Maybe I do. Yes, I do.
Just came,
Yes, I do.
yes.
Um,
Just to give you an idea how long this is going to take and the amount that it would cost the city.
yeah, we would
For each-
start,
2024, there's,
2024, the local amount would be $21,450. In 2025, it would be a total of $51,890. Sorry, $56,230, my bad. 2026 would be $49,050. 2027, $74,780. 2028, it would go up to $209,680. And then the final year, 2029, that would be $936,840 is what the city, and you add all that up,
over all those years.
that comes
so.
up to that 1.348 that I spoke about earlier. And I will make sure, I didn't have time, I got all this stuff at the very last minute today, but I'll forward all this information on to all of you so you have it. We put together a financial commitment letter here and a letter of support. Actually, we have a financial commitment letter that the mayor will have to sign with all that information on it. And then what I have here in front of me is a support letter put together for all of you that has just your individual, all you have to do is sign your individual name. It's not one for each of you. And then also a copy that the Board of Works will sign as well as a support letter. But we've reached out to churches, the Corps, the schools, the county. I don't know who all. We've made contact with a lot of different people about letters of support for that. In regards to Meadowbrook Phase 2, Got a map today from Don, also got a more detailed map from Clem. One of the questions was the safety of the kids that going, lining up, waiting for school and things like that. And it's hard to gauge what that's going to be because there's 3 separate entrances to Meadowbrook Phase 2. You're going to have one off of Mash Road, you're going to have one off of Hope, and you're going to have one off of Haven. Now, where I live in Southridge, everybody comes to Mash Road to get on the bus. But one of the things they were concerned about, the NDOT was concerned about was, okay, if these kids are all going to be rolling to Mash Road with all that new traffic, where are they going to stand for their safety, waiting for the bus? So, but until we know if that's where they're going to get on the bus at, which with 120, 130 new homes plus what's already there, I can't see that the buses won't venture their way back into the subdivision somewhere. There might be a pickup at Hoke and Maiden, but not near as busy at Hoke and Maiden as it would be at Meadowbrook and Mash Road. So we're trying to get as much information as we can into the grant. It has to be turned in by, I think, December the 2nd. And then after that, there'll be an interview process, and then we wait to see whether we get it or not. But what I have here is just a copy, not a copy, but a support letter for the city council for us to move forward with this. And we're gathering up traffic information. Larry's been doing a lot of things on his end, and I and the mayor and Kimberly have been doing some things on our end to try to make sure that we're ready to roll come time to turn it all in and put it all together. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have, or if not, like I said, I'll get this information that I spoke to you about with the financial commitment letter and the breakdown of the cost to you as soon as I get into work tomorrow.
Anybody have any questions for Jason? I mean, I think this was a plan all along to eventually finish up that project
Right.
on South Mesh Road.
It's been a plan, and and to be honest with you, we've already looked and talked about going around the corner to Kelly Road in the future to try to do something there. And I think the county's going to be doing some bridge work on their project on Kelly Road there, just past Williams Road. So, and then Don, I didn't know anything about this, but Don had spoke to me today that there possibly could be, what's the trail called, Don? Because there's so many of them I've heard about. The Monon Trail could possibly end up coming straight up Kelly Road, which would be kind of cool if we're able to work into Kelly Road, as I was telling Don about today, and the Monon Trail comes out of Kirkland and shoots down Kelly Road. That would be even more of a reason to have a complete street with multi-purpose path and things
It'd
of
come
that
down
nature.
Kelly because the actual Monon goes out further down Kirkland Brick is where it crosses.
Because of access through the farmlands are all gone. They think the easiest route to bring now to make it back into the line of Monon is to come down 39 to Kelly Road because it's a straight shot straight into where you would pick it back up and take it out through the back corner of it.
There are some places where farmers have farmed over it, but there an awful lot of that. Get on Google Earth. A lot of that is still tree lined, and you can follow it all the way out to Sheridan. Really, if you look on Google Earth, there's a good path there still there.
I just think that the conversation, it's early.
Yeah.
They think that the easiest way to get it back online is to come down.
Who's working on that?
I've had a conversation with Liz about that.
I'd love to get in the conversations.
I said I've heard about trails coming in from one side of the city to the other side of the city, so I don't know which trail's what, but you would know.
Cloverleaf is the one that was the most advanced, and then COVID
Kokomo
happened. And,
one, right?
Yeah, then COVID happened, and it stopped it all. But Clinton County had the second most railroads that went through it of any county in the state, second to Marion County at one point, and we're one of the only counties that has no real rail-to-trail development. We desperately need to catch up with the rest of the state.
I've had a lot of people mention that to me as well, interested in the trails, so we'll be working on that. Just don't forget to sign all the documents. We have the budget.
I
passed the
letter.
budget, the salary ordinance, and the letter of
Yeah,
support. You
yeah.
should be able to sign all three of those.
Does anybody have anything else?
It's got a.
I'm not hearing anything.
For Mike Brighton, he's not.
I move we adjourn.
Second? Okay. Thank you.
The salary.
A little bit longer than you anticipated, didn't it?
Sorry, Megan.
This is salary.
This one.
That is race and expedite.
Yeah.